All right, folks, we need to have a serious conversation. I see so many people being fucked right now, and we need to talk about that. If you're looking at deals, if you're trying to close deals this end of the year, this is for you, especially if you're a search fund, a roll-up company, an M&A company, and you're trying to buy your assets and you've been fucked, so your deal didn't close and you're back to square one. This is for you. And I don't want to say I saw that coming because that would be like bad. But I had so many discussions this year with people that felt they could figure things out on their own. And virtually all these people came back to me in the last few weeks saying, Marco, you were right. We didn't have a pipeline of deals. We committed to one transaction. That transaction fell apart. Now we're back to square one. And I was like, well, how did that work out? I mean, the fact that you wanted to be arrogant about that and just figure things out by yourself. Well, not so well, because you wasted a bunch of money and a bunch of time, some of them 6-9 months into a deal. And I want to have a conversation around this because I feel so many people are making this mistake, and not only search funds and roll-up companies, by the way, even small private equity groups, some advisors that want to sign sell-side client are making this mistake. So they feel they can save some dollars on origination, and they end up being completely screwed because they don't build a pipeline. They just have an inconsistent process that finds a deal, commits to a deal, and hopes that deal is going to close. But then if it all falls apart, that time has been wasted and they're back to square one. They go back to zero. And so people sometimes feel that is the right way to go about finding deals, but that is not true. That is not the case. Too many people have been convinced that network is the only way to go about finding deals, or that you can do everything by yourself, but that is not true. I mean, how did that program work out? I should be asking you, if you have a deal that fell apart in the last few weeks, have you realized the challenges that you're now facing? That you basically need to build a pipeline again, start finding deals again. Not only you're starting from zero, but you don't have a pulse of the market. You might have parked opportunities 3 months ago that now have been sold, and you don't understand anything. I mean, you need to get back on track. And too many people make this mistake. Even good private equity groups with a lot of capital to allocate end up at this juncture, so end of the year, with this problem. And to me, it's like the obvious answer. I mean, they don't feel finding a deal flow, for building a pipeline of deals is an important thing. Otherwise, they would have done it. But the truth of the matter is, capital is available, resources for closing deals, financial, legal advisors are available. All the resources surrounding a deal are available. The most important part that people don't focus their attention on is finding good deals, finding multiple good deals, and having options. And that's why so many of them get fucked this time of the year, because they invested so much time, on one transaction. And if that doesn't close, nothing happens. And they cannot get back on track quickly and maybe have a fallback deal that they can close by the end of the year. They're completely screwed. And so, you know, it's kind of painful to hear these conversations, because then they start to tell me, well, Marco, we realize the importance of having a pipeline, because having multiple sellers can enable us to think more strategically, have more options when we negotiate, also walk away if that is what we want to do. So we ultimately realize the importance of having options. And I'm like, no wonder, no fucking wonder. And I'm like, that is not something that I'm saying because I want them to feel bad about us not working together, because I don't give a shit about that. You can do things on your own if you'd like. The point is, if you don't have the right system in place, you can either work with somebody that can build it for you, because we work on active things. So we either find deals for you or we help you build your system, or you can learn how to build it. But don't feel like you can figure things out on your own And then when you get screwed, you wonder why things didn't work. Because the problem is that you have an inconsistent system that doesn't deliver. And it's not engineered to deliver. It's just engineered to gamble on an opportunity, hoping it will close. Sometimes it will go well and you'll feel everything is right. So you will feel okay. And this is kind of like an interesting point. Sometimes the deal will go right and you will feel the system that you have is excellent simply because you got lucky. But then you try a few more transactions, you ramp them up, commit all of your time to it, it fails, you're back to square one. You do that 2-3 times, now you're 12 months into sourcing again and you have done no deals, and you start to wonder, well, maybe what I was doing before is not actually right. Some people realize that sooner because generally these learnings happen before they actually close a deal, but some lucky ones do get to close one and then realize that later. But the point I'm getting at is a lot of people during this time of the year are coming to the realization that deal flow is the most important thing they can have, and continuity is the most important thing they can have, because deals are not going to happen overnight. Yes, you can find motivated sellers that are available in the market now. They want to pull the trigger, but especially in competitive environments like the US, it becomes very important to keep the pipeline active at all times. And if people are interested 3, 6, 9 months later, you're always there and you can catch them when they're ready. And you're not just guessing and gambling with your time, with your money, and with your project ultimately. So independently of whether you're a private equity group, you need to show returns to your investors. You're a roll-up, you need to acquire a certain amount of businesses. You're a search fund, you want to close deals. You need to have a system in place. And think about that for long term as we're heading to 2026. How can you restructure your internal system to work better in 2026 and get more deals, have options, break them down in categories, get a real pulse of the market and understand where the trends are going, where there might be the real opportunities. I mean, we have done this thing extensively now, and I can tell you that it takes longer than people imagine. It's like people feel it's going to take 1-2 months. It takes much more than that. And if you are not entering the process with that type of mindset, you're going to get completely annihilated. And I'm just telling you that in total transparency because, again, so many people call me back this month saying they got screwed, and I don't want you to be one of them, hopefully. So why is that happening? Well, arrogance, maybe. Maybe people want to save a few thousands, as I said. But that again is, in my opinion, ignorant thinking. Because if you're thinking about it, we're talking about one of the most lucrative industries that you can think of. So we're buying assets that are worth multiple millions. So they can literally change your life. One transaction can change your life. And still, I see people that kind of like make this stupid mistake of thinking that they can save a couple thousand and still close multi-million-dollar deals. Why would you take that risk? I don't really understand. Is the payoff not good enough? I mean, if you invest 5-10 grand to get a deal that is worth 5 million, is that not a good trade-off? I mean, it seems right to me. I guess, again, some of the challenges might be around the confidence of closing the deal from their side, or again, the arrogance of thinking they can do everything by themselves. But again, so many of them then realize that was not the right way to think about things. And so I wish I could help some of them, but a few are too stuck into the mentality that they can figure things out on their own, that they will never get there. They will never get there. And that is just painful to see, because there are too many things that they need to fix. And really, don't look at it as me patronizing you, because I don't really give a shit. I'm just sharing what we do actively when we work with clients. So it's like we provide them the system that we use every day for our clients that hire us as done for you. So we do everything for them and we source deals on their behalf. But also we provide them the systems that so other people asked us to deploy into their company so that they could have the same systems that we use. So it's like everything that I share is based on real life examples, real life situations that we've been through. So it's like What are the systems that can help us build a pipeline over time that is consistent, that is off market, that is proprietary to you, that you can control, that is not just a broker that is going to sell you off for the highest bidder, that is not just a networking event where you might find a guy that in 6 months' time is going to send you a half-assed deal, something like that. So even if you're an advisor, again, why would you take that risk? The payoff is just too good, especially if you already have buyers lined up. You know that you can execute on that deal. So why would you take that risk of trying to source everything by yourself and going through the pain and the hassle of sourcing the deals, while in reality, your real competence is closing sell-side clients and helping them exit their business? That's what you should focus your time on. Instead, I see people juggling between multiple things and then realizing, oh, well, I maybe wasted my time. Well, yeah, you have wasted your time. And even search funds and roll-up guys. Again, your focus is just closing deals. And the more you can get into your pipeline, the better. Because again, shit will go south. Terrible things will happen. You start with 20 deals into your pipeline. You submit 10 LOIs. 10 LOIs, 5 of them go under due diligence. Out of these, 2 get to a point of a potential purchase and sales agreement. One of them has a chance, a remote chance of closing if the seller doesn't change his mind. Is not changing his mind at the closing table and something terrible happens, like a big skeleton pops out 2 days from closing. So if you don't have that volume on top, all these opportunities that are coming to you, you're just wasting your time and you're just gambling with your future, because you're hoping that one deal that you have that looks so good, so fancy, so attractive is gonna close. But that is just equal to going to Vegas and playing roulette, putting it all on one number, not even a color, one number. I'm not saying you put it on red, you have 50%, 49% chance of winning. I'm talking about putting it on a number and hoping it hits that specific number. Chances are very remote. So hopefully some of you realize the importance of building a pipeline in 2026. Independently of whether you want to do it with us, without us, just do it. Do it and nurture opportunities continuously. Some deals may come across 3, 6, 9 months later. Conversations that you initiated in December might pay out in May, June, September next year. But you're gonna end up there anyway. That's what I'm getting. So if the time will pass anyway, you might as well do the efforts, the right type of efforts right now, so that when the time comes, you'll get the payoff and you're not just back from square one, wondering, wow, if I had built that pipeline in December, now I would have had opportunities to look into. Instead, I just decided to focus on another deal. It fell apart in June. Now it's August and I have nothing to do. I need to rebuild it. So just think of that, really. Independently of who you are, the type of companies that you run, DealFlow is so fucking important. It's crucial. And the more you have, the better, really. You can never have enough DealFlow. And anybody that, is good at what he does in this industry will tell you exactly the same. You can never have enough deal flow. Even big firms that maybe execute a few deals a year still think that you can never have enough deal flow. Because again, even if you look at 600 deals in a year, right? And you say, wow, that's too many. No, it's not. Because as you get these many deals, well, first of all, a lot of them are going to be crap anyways. So let's just forget about that for a second. But then you get to choose. You really get to choose the best possible opportunities. And you're just not just picking one, hoping it will be the best deal that you might have gotten. And so, you have 600 deals, you select 100, 50 past your initial due diligence screening, you end up with 30. Now with 30, you can pick 4 that you want to execute, and you can pick the 4 best ones, and you still have backups. So that's kind of like the mindset that I always work with. Again, that's all I can say. If you want our help, check the link below. But independently of that, build your deal flow pipeline for 2026.